Another day here in Philadelphia for the Eagles practice is officially wrapped up, and in this video we're going to break down everything you need to know about today's practice. Who looked good, who didn't look good, who started, who came off the bench, right? So we're going to break down everything you need to know. Now before we get into that, do me a big favor and go give a follow to the Eagles media team, right? They post these videos in real time, these highlights, and without them, these videos aren't really possible. So I want to give a big shout out to the Eagles media team. You're going to see their ads at the top left of your screen. Go follow them for more highlights in real time when OTAs are going down, man. I'm telling you right now, you won't regret it. Go give them a big follow because, again, these videos aren't possible without them. Now, with that being said, let's kind of dive into the video. Now, the first notable thing that happened was the pre-practice press conferences where AJ Brown was talking a little bit about Quinyon Mitchell, who has been getting some first-team reps. I mean, he said, listen, Quinyon Mitchell barely talks, except there was this one play where he told me my route was trash, and that was coming from AJ Brown. So that was kind of funny that Quinyon Mitchell is, a quiet guy. Obviously, being a rookie, you're not expected to come in here and just be a vocal leader right away, but being able to talk a little bit of trash when, you can. I mean, it is kind of funny, right? We also heard a lot of good news on, Cam Jurgens making some big-time plays at center, obviously taking Jason Kelsey's role of being the starting guy, in the interior of that offensive line. But, man, he's been killing it. According to the teammates around him, man, he's been doing a really good job picking up, early and often. I mean, the man is really working hard to, fill that gap, right? So that was a big thing. Pre-practice, heard from the coaches and some of the players talking about Cam Jurgens being such a big-time player in the role. We also saw a little bit of some 7-on-7s, 11-on-11s, and again, I apologize, can't show that footage to you right now because the media team isn't allowed to post those highlights. So hopefully soon we'll be able to get those once mandatory minicamp comes around. But Jalen Hurts did throw an interception today to Reed Blankenship. Now, might have been a little bit of a miscommunication, but Reed Blankenship stepped in front of the route and picked off Jalen Hurts. Definitely a big-time play for Reed Blankenship, who I wouldn't say is fighting to keep his job, but they are rotating a bunch of guys into that safety role alongside TJ Gardner-Johnson. We see Avonte Maddox try to play a little bit of both safety and nickel, and I feel like he's a guy that could give them some versatility, as well as James Bradbury. They're trying to figure out if he can play some slot and some, safety as well. So, Reed Blankenship, I wouldn't say he's fighting for a job, but definitely someone who needs to keep playing good in practice if he wants to maintain it, right? Now, another very interesting thing was yesterday, and, not even just yesterday, but over the past couple of weeks, there's been a couple of guys standing out. Mainly, Isaiah Rodgers has looked like an absolute dog. And again, I would not be shocked if he's a day one starter for this football team. I think he was one of the biggest steals of the offseason. I think he was suspended for gambling for a season. But the man on the football field is not only nasty as a defensive back, but also a really good return man. And especially with the new kickoff rules, dude, this dude, Isaiah Rodgers, is going to be someone. He is going to be someone that Eagles fans slowly start to fall in love with what he does on the football field, and I am so happy he's here. Also, Kelee Ringo. Kelee Ringo has, or Kelee, whatever it is. Again, I hate butchering it, but I do. Kelee Ringo is snapping. This dude looks like a beast. A major jump up from last year. Look for him to continue to get first-team reps and make a name for himself as we get into mandatory minicamp and training camp. That's when things will really start to get real, to see who's a starter alongside Darius Slay on the boundary, right? Also, before we get any further into the video and talk about some other guys looking pretty good, do me a favor, hit the like button just so we can get this video out to, more Eagles fans around the world, but also, more importantly, subscribe if you're new. It's free. Doesn't cost anything, and we will be covering the Eagles throughout the entirety of the offseason. You might ask what that entails. The rest of OTAs, mandatory minicamp, training camp, preseason, regular season, and get this, once the season does kick off, once we have some preseason football games, we're going to be breaking down some all-22 coaches film for you guys. That way you guys are up to date with everything that's happening, not only in games, but practice as well. So make sure you guys join the family. It is crucial. It is so important. And again, it's free. Another guy who's been looking decent. I don't think he's someone that is going to be a starter, or he might not even play too much, but UDFA Kendall Milton from Georgia. Obviously, Georgia running backs always tend to do good in the NFL. He's a guy that's been very interesting. So far, he's got a good burst of speed. He's elusive, got good ball carrier vision. A guy that can catch the ball at the backfield as well. So shows some signs of versatility in a new dynamic here with Saquon Barkley now here. But again, we'll see what happens with Milton. They still have Will Shipley, who they drafted in the 4th round. Such, way more draft capital there. And you have Kent Gainwell as well. So they do have some guys that uphill battle for Kendall Milton to actually make the team. But so far, I feel like he's done a really good job adjusting to the Eagles' pace of practice so far. Cooper DeJean dropped an interception. And, it was funny because C.J. Gardner-Johnson immediately was talking trash, like, hey, how do you drop that? How the hell do you not intercept that pass and whatnot? So that was kind of funny to see. Keelan Ringo had a nice breakup on Kenny Pickett. Pass was intended for John Ross, who, low-key, John Ross has been standing out at practice so far. So, hey, don't be surprised if John Ross not only makes his team, but gets some reps, man. Today, he's got some first-team reps, had a nice catch, impressive showing, and he is continuing to look good throughout this offseason so far. So, we're going to have to continue to watch out for John Ross. He's got breakaway speed now that they lost Quez Watkins to the Pittsburgh Steelers. It's going to be really interesting to see where he fits in and, how he can continue to improve going forward. And he's got retired a couple years ago, now back, and maybe has a, a new love for the game. So keep an eye out on John Ross. Mekhi Becton was getting first-team left guard reps again today. Quinyon Mitchell saw some first-team reps again. Cooper DeJean saw some reps with the second team. And, dropped an interception. Should have had it. He'll get better. He'll improve. Don't worry. Don't panic, boys. Who else did good? Will Shipley had some catches out the backfield. Really trying to get these running backs able to catch the ball, right? We want every single one of these guys. Will Shipley, Kendall Milton, Tyrion Davis-Price, Saquon. We want these guys to be able to catch the football at the backfield. That way, when they're on the field, teams aren't like, okay, this guy's on the field, so they're not gonna pass the ball to him, right? So if you have a bunch of guys that can come in here and add versatility in terms of being able to catch and run, I think it adds unpredictability, which makes your offense a little bit more dynamic. And I think that's what they're trying to get. They're trying to get Will Shipley and all these guys able to catch the ball at the backfield. So he definitely had his best practice so far. And lastly, they practiced a little bit of the new kickoff format, which is interesting. New kickoff format. I didn't really like it at first, but now that they're practicing it, you can tell it's leaving a lot of room for strategy, right? And it's going to make kick returners, it's going to make kickers, it's going to make special teams coaches so much more valuable to have those guys, man. Because look at the Chiefs, for example, putting Justin Reed as your kicker, right? In kickoffs, just because he adds another tackling aspect. It's getting really, really fun out here, and I think this new kickoff is going to be pretty fun. We saw Tyrion Davis-Price, Britain Covey, Anaya Smith, Kenny Gainwell, Lou Nichols. They took some kickoff reps, kick return reps. C.J. Gardner-Johnson, John Ross stood near the returners, but didn't take reps. So that was interesting, but that's pretty much it, man. Hit the like button, subscribe if you're new, join the family. More more Eagles videos coming to you soon, and I'll see you in the next one. Make sure you follow all the Eagles media members, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.